California, nobody from Texas to Alaska that has any acting chops that can represent, doesn't have to put on an accent that they didn't grow up with. That's one of the things that she has on her back. So now to take all that energy and then bring it to the Blerd first and be like, now I'm going to usurp your Storm. She's got a lot of backtracking to do. She's going to have to explain what's going on with these tweets and stuff. I want to welcome the homie Ant into the building. Ant is here, y'all. Ant, welcome. Ant is here. Finally, man. We can finally start the show. What's going on, Ant?
And pulled up. And it's like, yo, it's morning time. I gotta get my breakfast before anything.
First of all,
I'm with
it's
you,
good
man.
to see you, Ant. I'm glad you're here. I don't think you've had the pleasure of being on the panel with Steph before. So Steph, meet Ant.
How you
Ant,
doing?
Steph. All right, and Ant. Unfortunately, she has left the New York area. She's now in the DMV area, but this was our New York affiliate for quite some time. But who knows? Nolly may be joining you now. I wanted to bring you in on the topic, bro. What we're talking about right now is the fact that Cynthia Erivo is interested now, evidently, in playing the role of Storm. My question is, how you feel about this, homeboy? Is this up your alley? Do you think that she should play it? What say you?
Going along with what you were saying, this would be nice to have somebody of like direct African descent playing the character in the role. It's the irony, right? Like we have complaints about British people playing American historic figures, non-American people playing playing American historical figures, but all of Black Panther was full of Americans, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the irony is there. So it would be cool to kind of to have somebody of direct African descent playing the role. My issue is that with a lot of people, those comments are hard to forget. And she didn't really even apologize. She just kind of hand waved it away.
Yeah. I would really like to delve into that. So Nolly, if I'm not mistaken, please, Steph.
Look, I just want to push back on that real quick. Nice to meet you, Ant. But I'm going to say it's not easy to find native Wakandans for a Marvel film. So I think they can come from wherever we
Nah, just people from Africa. People from Africa, African actors, either someone in that immediate.
She might got you though. She might got you. And say he want true. He say, look, if you ain't got the shit on your lip, you don't apply. Like, look, you gotta. Hey. Oh no! Cut, bro.
He said the dashiki you got from Party City don't count.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, where your purple herbs at, homeboy? You know what I'm saying? Where your grandma stay in Wakanda? You know what I'm saying? How far we go back? Like, that's what she talking about. Nah, but I agree. But he's right though. He's right. It's like weird. Like we went over this already before, Steph. We was talking about the fact that like we're a little bit agitated at folks for not representing things accurately, yet we love Chadwick Boseman for playing T'Challa, even though Chadwick is from Cali. You know what I'm saying? He's not.
He's not. He's from North Carolina. He's from South Carolina, bro.
South Carolina. South Carolina, they all the same shit.
As any African actor. He is just as Wakandan as anybody else.
Fair enough. Well, then I mean, shoot. You're gonna get the anti-woke crowd coming up. Well, what about white, black? I don't want to. We tangenting, and I don't want to tangent right now because I really want to delve into what led off. So Nolly, if you could you, and Steph, if you don't mind, because I think you might have had this on the top of mind as well. Could you once again remind our audience what Cynthia Erivo said, why she said it, and how you feel about it? Look at Nolly, does not look happy about having. Come on, Nolly, come on.
But before I forget, because ADHD, you said that she couldn't play a younger Storm, but like, how old do you think Alphaba is? Because they're like freshmen.
They were in high school. Bro.
Like, and she pulled it. I know because I've watched Wicked at least 3 times a day every day since it came out. So we don't talk about it because it's my current hyperfixation. Anyway. So basically, what had happened was, boom. She tweeted about re-recording a song she had wrote and she was kind of mocking Black African Americans, their accent, and basically said straight up that we're ghetto, etc., etc. And like the usual shit that the Brit Black demographic always do, that none of us know where we're from, etc., etc. It's an ongoing war. Like, honestly, if you're on Twitter any day, there's always someone from the UK tweeting shit about Black African Americans, and Black African Americans clapping right the fuck back. Like, it's literally nothing new, but also most of those people aren't celebrities. And so I do feel that at some point she should have actually apologized for it, because then you go on to play Harriet Tubman.
Well, first of all, is somebody on an oxygen tank or something? I'm hearing something crazy in the background, but it's all good. Please, Steph, and continue.
I'll just add. So for one, I just texted a link summarizing a link to a thread that summarizes the whole controversy really, really well. That's in the group chat now. So if somebody wants to post that on one of the pages, if y'all are watching later, hopefully the link will be up and you can read the whole thing in detail. But in sum, what happened from my perspective is basically there was pushback to Cynthia Erivo, I don't know how to say her last name, to Cynthia's casting as Harriet Tubman because she's not African American. And her response to that was very cavalier and basically like, well, we're all Black, so why are you trying to single out Black Brits? But then on the other hand, she has lots of tweets talking about British people should be honored for British awards and cast for these things. And, you wouldn't understand because I'm British, it's different. So she likes to make the distinguish between Black Americans and Black Brits when it's convenient for her and supports her point. But when people, I think, very reasonably call out, hey, could we not get a Black American actress to play a Black American icon? Then she's like, oh my gosh, but we're all the same. But that's not how you really feel, sis. She's also very close with Lovey, who is known for profiting off and building a brand off of, but then having all kinds of awful shit to say about African Americans, and has doubled down on defending old girl and the nonsense that she has said about Black American people. So I'm just not a fan at all. I would really hate to see her play Storm. I don't think she deserves it, and that's my thoughts on her.
I think it's not her anointing in life. I think that there's a calling for her. Obviously, Alphaba was one of them because I have begrudgingly bumped the soundtrack since the movie dropped. I don't think Storm's it. That's pretty much it.
You don't. So you saying if she came down to the proverbial altar to play Storm, you'd be like, Jesus said, "Turn your ass around, nigga."
Jesus said, "Man, one embrace." He said, "Give me a minute." I DM'd you today, but she didn't answer me yet. Just hold on.
All right. So let me just clarify what I said. And Steph, I have questions for you because you said, who was the person you said she's associated with?
Lovey Ajayi. She's an author and influencer who has made a brand on like telling it like it is. But she is Nigerian also and has had a lot of critical things to say about Black Americans.
Man, this conversation is going to take a dark turn in a second, but for right now, let me just retort what Nolly said. So my issue, not retort, but let me respond to. So what Nolly said was, she played like a elementary school. My issue isn't with her being able to. Today.
You want Cynthia an origin story? I think my issue with wanting an origin story Storm is that we are so late into the MCU right now that, like, I don't know if with our Marvel fatigue, we could handle more origin stories. I feel like a Storm origin story would not get the attention that it deserves. And it would be one of those projects like the Marvels where, like, people pan it because it's a woman of color. She's the star. And then it would do good on streaming. And I I don't want that for Storm. And I think we're at a point in the MCU where they've fucked up so much consecutively that this is not a good time for an origin story, especially with DCU rebooting and revamping and doing not so much focusing on origin stories, but rewriting what they've already done for their new kind of, I don't know if this is the time for it. I feel like we should be introducing mutants as we move along because they are critical to the storylines and we've gone so long without them. But I think we're so far down the timeline that I don't know where a Storm origin story would fit. Maybe like an after her appearance comes out and they do like a project that's an origin story and give us that on top of introducing her and making her critical in upcoming storylines. But I personally, I don't know how a Storm origin is going to work right now with the fatigue and with everything going on. Because Marvel hasn't really been giving lately. And so, like, I don't want half-assed Storm. Like, I need them to find their footing again and get back to what the MCU should be for Storm to be given her flowers appropriately. And that makes sense. Because at this point, they're throwing us here dams all the time. I don't want Storm to be a here dam so that we could shut up.
I get not wanting Storm to be a here dam. By the way, I love the concept of a here dam, and it makes so much sense. A here dam, and I low-key feel like Storm, as of right now, could suffer through a here dam type of project. But here's the issue. I know that what I'm saying sounds like superficially terrible. I get it, especially after they tried with the younger version of Storm in Apocalypse, and it did not work at all. But my thing is, just like I feel for Miles Morales, when we get introduced to a Storm, I don't want to see another Storm introduced for a long time. I don't want them to come in and be like, okay, this Storm done aged out. I don't want to do the Patrick Stewart, James McAvoy thing either, where there's an older Storm and a younger Storm. I want there to be a Storm that we learn, we grow with. I want a Tobey Maguire Storm. I know, don't give me your Tobey Maguire feelings. It's just an analogy, okay? It's just a comparison. We met Peter Parker through Tobey Maguire. Then we got 4 Spider-Man movies, and I'm counting the one that he's in with No Way Home because of how we grew with, and then we grew to compare him to others. But ultimately, we had our Spider-Man. What we need is our Storm, not a Storm. We need the Storm. And I just think that a solo standalone movie where we're not only introduced to her as a solo concept, but also why she is referred to as the Weather Witch, why she is why she does speak so regally, why she, like, I think that there's room for that. If you can, and don't tell me, this isn't to you, Nolly, but to those in the comments, don't tell me that the MCU is too far gone to give us an origin story for Storm, and we can give a Black Widow origin story. All right, we're about to have a Red Hulk. We're about to have Thunderbolts. We're about to get introduced to all these new characters. And Storm, one of our most prestigious Black characters, we can't get an origin story for her. And I don't even mind if you do it off the MCU. Give me an anime. All I want to see is some independence through Aurora Monroe. Just let her have her own. Let her cook. Stop associating her with T'Challa and the X-Men. Give her her own lane. And I think if we're going to do that, then we're looking at longevity. And I want a Storm that can play Storm for 10, 20 years. And I just don't think Cynthia Erivo, despite, I mean, in addition to all this other stuff, I just don't think at this point in time that she has that she's given that.
So Vince, then who would be?
Well, I mean, that's not the question. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have that answer. Because let me answer your question. The question begs that I select from a list of characters, a list of actors, folks that we may know already. And what I want to say is I don't know, because we may not know who Storm is. She may not have been cast yet. She could be an unknown person. So for me to float a bunch of folks just so that we can sit and debate on whether or not they fit the script, that's something we can do. It's fun. We can have that conversation. But I don't want to restrict Aurora Monroe to only familiar faces, because we're denying somebody who could be a perfect fit for Storm just because we don't know who she is yet.
Well, the reason I asked that is because you, from what I'm hearing from you, you would like to go younger. What is that noise? Yo, it's like, but yeah.
Anthony's got his window open. He's in Brooklyn, yo. You gotta remember this.
I'm on mute.
Hey, I have no idea what that is. But nah. So I'm looking at it from what you're saying. You would like a younger version of Storm, sort of like what you got with the when they did the Apocalypse joint with the
similar
to that age. I would just like a good version of Storm. I at this point, I'm like, because of all the mishaps with the casting of Storm, I think just getting a good version of Storm is the start. Once you get the good version of Storm in whatever one of these properties they decide to drop it in, whether it's X-Men or whether it's in another movie, and they decide to drop a Storm version, assume is out there. What we have is actresses that have already proven themselves to be able to take characters and make them successful. I'm speaking to a Cynthia Erivo. I'm speaking to a Yetide. I honestly think that either of those women will do justice to the version of Storm, which is the same version of Storm, by the way, that we enjoyed so much in the X-Men 99 X-Men what was that, 97, the last season, or the last so I don't have a problem with that version of Storm, the version that is, like I said, grandiose and has this aura about her that screams regal, and so I would like to see an older woman. Not saying she has to be old, but older, because Cynthia is 38, Yetide's 43. So either of those women playing would give Storm the maturity that she deserves as a character. Now, from there, if they decide later they want to do an origin story and you go with a younger version to fit that whole dynamic that you want to see, cool. But I think, as far as like right now, we as a culture, as a people, as nerds and blerds, we all want to see Storm receive her flowers and get casted as someone who's going to give her what Storm deserves.
Fair enough. Disagree, but fair. Because I don't think that everybody we've met as a superhero who has stayed with the MCU for quite a while, we met at a younger age. We met at a vulnerable moment. We didn't meet as many of our characters right at the height of their superhero-dom. Let's start with Captain America. This dude, we met him in Brooklyn. He was skinny. They had to CGI his body on. That's how skinny he was. And now we got we don't have Captain America now. Now he's back to the Fantastic Four. When we met RDJ, he was still struggling being a playboy. Remember, he messed with the interviewer and all of that stuff. Then he came and developed. When we met T'Challa, he was still his daddy's son. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't meet these characters at the height of the only one we meet like that. And even then, like, we even got a young Professor X, a young Magneto. Like, why are we trying to force Storm into her middle-aged self instead of giving her the same opportunity all the other big-name Marvel characters got to develop from youth into their maturity? And I think that, and another thing real quick, why is Marvel let me get the cam. Can I talk to Marvel for a second? All right, I'm gonna talk to Marvel. I'm gonna go ahead. Marvel, as long as I've been reading your comics, as long as I have been into these movies, there have been Black people clamoring for a Storm project, for a solo project. What is the holdup? Why are we getting everything about everybody else? We're hearing all this stuff about DC. We're hearing this about Clayface. We're hearing this about Joker. We're hearing now that there may even be a new RDJ role where he's going to be recycled now as Dr. Doom. And through all of this, there's no mention of a single Storm movie. Well, all of the comment section are all clamoring for it. Are we not loud enough? Are we not important enough? What is the holdup? I think that y'all are missing the ball on this one, and you normally were pretty good. Like you would say, oh, okay, y'all want Avengers? We'll give you Avengers. Oh, y'all want a Spider-Man mashup? We'll give you a Spider-Man mashup. Oh, y'all want Storm? Let me think about it. Somebody got to talk to y'all about that. Now,
but Vince, but
I think we forget that Marvel didn't have the rights to the mutants until very recently. Remember when we were introduced to Wanda and Quicksilver, they called them specials because they literally couldn't even use the word mutants. So, and that's a recent thing that they were only able to get once the Sony thing ended and 20th Century Fox thing ended. Once that was over and Sony regained the rights to just Spider-Man, that's when Marvel was able to get access to mutants. It's one of the only reasons why we have Wolverine in Deadpool 3. So like they're just on the cusp of beginning to add mutants, which is why I think they haven't bothered to. I don't think there's been enough time for them to plan for these things yet, because it's still kind of like a new-ish acquisition. While they've already had so much already planned, it's hard to fit more shit. And then we had like the strike in between and things like that. So, and now they're cutting back projects. So I think they just haven't had the time to plan for those things.
Oh my. Go ahead, Anthony, because I got oof. It's unlike you, Nolly, to cape for Marvel in this situation. I won't lie.
I'm just being factual.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
factual.
caping for them.
I
think they're still fucking up, but you know.
Hold on.
Right, only reason I say real quick, Ant, before you come in. Only reason I say it's caping is because we just listed Deadpool and Wolverine. You know what I'm saying? And the origin stories, Wolverine's a mutant. You know what I'm saying? So like, what do you mean we don't have time? We made 3 movies for a mutant. You know what I'm saying? Amidst this not having the rights for the mutant. So I'm just a little like, if they really Wolverine origin story. Wolverine first was the first Origins. Remember X-Men Origins?
That was in
That's not what she was talking about, bro.
MCU, yeah.
Yeah, and more importantly, that's not even what she was talking. She's talking about now, as opposed. You're talking about then.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the fact that Nolly's right about them not allowing mutants, but them not having the rights to mutants does not give them an excuse to not give Storm a prominent role. They were able to do it for Wolverine.
It's hard to do
because Wolverine's an X-Men too. Everything you say about Storm,
so Wolverine is an X-Men. Yes, he's a mutant, but he's also one of the easier ones to just throw into something. Whereas I feel like Storm has such an integral role with other already established MCU characters. They just got the rights to mutants in 2019, and that's when they had started writing Deadpool Wolverine. And then we had a strike in between, and they already had a whole timeline already planned. So I think it would be disingenuous and at a disadvantage to just shove Storm into something already when the timeline is fucked.
Anthony.
Disney started the acquisition in 2017. They finished it in 2019. They had a long time to figure out how to write in Storm. I do believe that there is room to do both. You know, we do have a lot of films where they like to do flashbacks and they like to interject people's origin stories into a contemporary story. It's really on just how they want to write it. They can do whatever they want. Overall, I think we know why we don't have a Storm movie. We know why. You know the answer. We just dancing around it. It's not their priority. You know, when Disney wants to do something, they make it a priority. I remember when Black Panther came out. What year did Black Panther come out? Like 2018?
I think it was earlier than that, right? It was
2017, 20. Something like that, like 2017, 2018.
No, yeah, 2018 and Wakanda Forever was 2022.
Right. So 2018, Black Panther comes out. It's the highest grossing superhero movie of all time. It outpaces the Avengers domestically. I think it still holds that record, like $700 million
on a single superhero movie. Yeah,
on a solo superhero movie. Yeah, and in that time, they didn't sit there and like, you know how like most movie theaters or most movie studios, they're like, oh snap, Batman made so much money. Let's start signing the contract to get the sequel started getting worked on. Matt Reeves start writing. Robert Pattinson don't go nowhere. You know, they start putting people in place and start locking them down. Black Panther came out, they ain't do that. They ain't do none of that. You know what they did? They started working on Spider-Man Far From Home. And then Spider-Man Far From Home came out, and then Spider-Man No Way Home came out like right after. Black Panther was not the priority. They had Spider-Man to play with. They had some Avengers to play with. They had to figure out what to do with Robert Downey Jr.'s character. It's not the priority, so they could have done it. 6 years is a long time to be sitting with the mutants. You know, and I'm gonna be 6 to be nice because I honestly think it should be 8. But 6 years is a long time to be sitting with the characters and not doing anything with any of them. And the reason is because, again, we know why. It's a touchy topic. We know what these characters are allegories for, right? We know who struggle, what they struggle through, right? They sit there, they fight racism, they fight prejudices, they fight segregation. They're supposed to be metaphors for the civil rights movement. And that's a tough thing right now, especially in today's society, right? People don't necessarily want to see, and I don't mean us, I just mean other people might not necessarily want to hear that.
It's so funny. It's so funny because T'Challa, African superhero, solo movie, breaks the $1 billion barrier with one superhero. And then after that, there's no attempt to kind of take that wave and ride it with not just T'Challa, but I mean, I see what you did with Ironheart, and we're gonna support her. And I don't like how y'all ain't promoting Riri Williams the same way you were promoting a bunch of other stuff either. But it just feels like Ant is hit it on the head. To them, it's not a priority, and that is a problem for me. Let's go to
even Kevin Feige said that he did not anticipate Black Panther to do as well as it did. He said Black Panther was a calculated risk. It was a big risk, and he was nervous about it.
Well, I mean, it was. I mean, listen, every time you put an all-black cast together, let's keep it real, you get backlash. It happened to Eddie Murphy. You know what I'm saying? It happened to T'Challa. He started, all black. Well, that's what it is. But anyway, I am curious about this, though. You mentioned Jodie. You all really could see this young lady right here as your Storm. Could this be your new Storm right here, Miss Jennifer Hudson show? Are y'all thinking that this could fit the role? I mean, she's got the look, she's got the youthfulness. If we're talking background, there might be, I don't know, Steph, I don't know if you looked into her background or not. I don't know if y'all knew this, but she was with, for the longest, Charlie from the Mighty Ducks, Joshua Jackson, who evidently is really into chocolate, and they had some weird stuff going on. But are we into Jodie, y'all? Are y'all feeling Jodie for Storm? Yeah, hands up.
So just a heads up, she's the same age. She's the same age as Cynthia Erivo.
Yep.
She's literally 38.
And Yetide is 43.
And and Yetide is 40. See, this is my.
I love Yetide. I love Yetide.
We all love Yetide.
I didn't get my answer. I don't know if you're trying to throw that at me, like, yo, well, just so you know, pussy ass nigga, your fuck boy ass ain't even know they the same age with your bitch ass. Like, okay, calm down. Like, I'm not advocating for
that's not at all how I portray.
She's 38, ho.
Yeah, nah. I just say that to say. I just say that to say that when it comes to black women and black men, it's about what you can bring to the character. If you can look like you 17, then like, yo, she just literally just did Wicked, bro. And as a whole, that is supposed to be a whole high school theme John. Like they literally are in like even look, even for the sake of argument, if we say they're in college, in the first year of college, you know, like that's she's still supposed to play.
But hold on. Let me stop you though. Let me stop you. You're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that she can't play the role right now. I'm saying I want longevity. Is she still going to be able to play a developing maturation Storm in 2035? I don't know. But that's what we see. That's what we see with all the other characters. You know what I'm saying? We want a long life Storm, not a Storm that you're going to introduce to us who's not going to be the same Storm like 5-10 years later. I just don't know if that's going to be the case. I'm trying to
first of all,
set up. You will have the same Storm,
and more importantly,
so you do want
you're dead set on what you've seen in the past with Marvel. Doesn't mean that won't change. Like you can't just decree because Marvel stepped out there and this is how they presented everything that's how it's going to remain. It shouldn't remain. If they want to contend and stay relevant, then they are going to have to adapt. There is going to have to be some change within Marvel because now you're finally at your competitor, the person you were always never worried about, is finally putting out good product. So in order to now stay relevant, you now have a competitor. They didn't have that before. It was easy for you to put out whatever you wanted to put out and people to have to watch it because they didn't have anything else to watch. But now I don't think that's going to be the case for much longer. I think people are going to start watching DC stuff. They're going to realize that DC does have some potential good stuff going on over there. And I think that's going to cause Marvel to have to change up what hasn't worked and start doing new things. So the idea that they go with a character for 15 years, that's just what you've seen in the past with the development of the characters that they had. That doesn't mean that that's what they're going to do moving forward. If we get 10 years of a Storm storyline, I'm okay with that. If we get 10 years, we don't have to get 15 years. But if you give me 5 movies, 6 movies, and maybe some spin-off television series or whatever, I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people would be. You don't have to be 15 years. Yo, what you talking about? We'll be in our 60s and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like we'll be well into our 60s by then. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so I don't know, man. I don't think that everything is going to remain the same because it has. And I think things will change.
Marvel had a choice to what they were going to do with Wolverine. Just keeping in mind some of the points that Vince was making about wanting somebody for longevity. And who did they pick?
Wolverine, the same guy.
Who did they pick? Right? They're like, yo, this is our guy for like the next 10 years. He's 56 years old.
Deadpool.
So like,
Captain America.
like and Robert Downey Jr. Like he's not a spring chicken neither when they picked him, right? I'm not saying he was like in his late 30s, right? He wasn't a 20-year-old. We didn't get a history of his upbringing with his parents. You know, they jumped right into the deep end. It's really just on how they want to write it, right? Like they can do whatever they want. It can always be a multiverse story, right? It can always be a domestic story. It could be whatever they want.
Agreed. Agreed.
Now, as far as like what they do and who they pick, I'm still on the boat that I would like to see somebody from Africa get the role. You know, what really hurts me is that we struggle to think of an African actress's name. And you know why that is? It's because we don't give them a shot. We don't give them a chance. We don't learn their names until they appear in projects that we know and love. You know, that's how these actors become household names. And we all know what a Marvel glow up does. And I was grateful enough, and I had the blessing enough to actually visit Africa and become associated with some of these South African and African creators, directors, writers, producers. They are talented. They do watch our stuff. They do hold opinions of us, but it's a two-way street in that we only know about them based off of what media introduces to us, and they only know about us based off of what they see in media. But I think that given the opportunity, if they had one of them to come out here and play the role of Storm, we would open up a whole new lane of actors and actresses to get work, and we would be better served. I'm not saying like somebody American can't do the role. I'm sure Jodie Turner-Smith would do a fantastic job. I just think, you know, we would be just better served. I don't even know if the audiences would care, but like as critics, as observers, as people who's like really ingrained to it, we would notice. We'd be like, yo, only she knew to do that, right? That little specific thing with her body, or not pronunciate something like this. I think we'd be better served. So yeah, they can do whatever they want. They don't have to stick to a certain window of time to cast this actress, and they can do whatever they want as far as telling her origin, whether it be a contemporary story or flashbacks.
I feel like another thing that Marvel used to do well was they used to introduce characters indirectly, and then we would get the main character. They've done it with Riri. All right. They did it with Wanda. They've done it with Agatha and all these other characters. I'm wondering if Storm is going to be a character who we kind of, and this is another thing, like, as we sit here and talk about this, let's not act like the cinematic universe is the only place that Storm can get some sort of traction. Like, there could have been Storm animes. There can be more Storm one track. I mean, she has her own comic book. Like, I just feel like delving more into her culture, the love that people have for her hasn't really been, I don't feel like it's been capitalized on. But I don't know. I don't know about that, if I'm being honest. Can we talk about the disparity between having to hire an actor who's qualified versus hiring an actor who's going to bring butts to seats? You know what I'm saying? Because what if we get the most qualified actor for Storm, but she's an unknown, so she doesn't generate much interest? I mean, is Marvel willing to risk that?
And the thing is that when they cast Tom Holland for Spider-Man, they wanted an unknown for Spider-Man, but it only works if you're a cis white male.
Oof.
And it's not going to be the same if we got an unknown African-American woman to play Storm. It's not going to get the same thing because you know how these fanboys are. You know how the internet is. We couldn't even have the Marvels with known names in it get the accolades that it deserved when it came out, only for them to be on streaming like, oh, it wasn't that bad. So y'all didn't even see it before you started panning it.
Channeling Omar.
It's not going to be the same because it's not some little white boy.
Come on, Ty.
If we went your route and went young, there is one actress that I think would be ideal for Storm, and she's not an unknown. If any of you ever watched Black Lightning, the last season of Black Lightning, they switched out Lightning, I think her name was, which they switched her into Laura Kariuki, Kariuki, Kariuki. She also played the older sister on the Wonder Years, the black version. If anybody's ever watched that, which was a hell of a show. Is
it over? They don't come on no more?
Oh yeah, they canceled it. Yeah, they canceled it. That's
of course.
That's how that goes. But she played the older sister. And she also played on Black Lightning. She would be ideal if you're talking about now she is from Kansas, right here in the U.S. She is of African descent. Laura, Laura, Kariuki, Kariuki. But she's 21. She's 21 years old, I think. I think she's like 21.
Oh, yes. She's young.
Yeah, she's young. She would be ideal.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let me go ahead and pull this up right quick. Yeah, this, and you know who else? I mean, and I think I'm gonna get a lot of, brushback if I mention this name, but I also am not too mad at what's the name from Fresh Prince, but then again, I know people don't like her right now for some reason.
Who?
The girl who's a singer.
The singer Coco Jones.
Coco Jones. Now again, I'm not casting her. I said I wouldn't be mad at her. Just from an image and youth standpoint. But yeah, this is ideal. This is ideal. All right, I didn't do that on purpose. She looks like my
she's
little
26 years old. So she's 26. And like I said, she played I think Lightning and Black Lightning. And also I know her from the Wonder Years, but she was in a couple of other things as well. But she's not an unknown actress. she's not, she's not up there yet. But I think a role like Storm could put her right where she needs to be.
Ideal. This is you hit my heartstrings because she has experience. She has youth on her side. She's got, from where I see, the image. Okay. She's got the hue. She's got the American, and it sounds like the African background. I'm going based off of what you're telling me. All she has to do is not say something stupid on Twitter, not say something dumb. And I'm not casting her. I'm putting her in a bucket of folks that I think could be qualified to suit the role. But this is more my speed. Not to take away from your T-Day, who I love and still was one of my first choice, along with you, to play Storm. Not to take away from Jodie Turner, and not to take away even from Cynthia, who I frankly think is a little too controversial at this point. I think that I don't think that the Black community would come out. I mean, comments like this, like that. This ghetto American accent, like, and doing it to tap dance for said white man in the comments is for laughs. I assume it's probably for a giggle. It's gonna haunt you. Like, Black people are some of the most sensitive people on Black Americans. I can't speak for everybody else because I'm a Black American. I believe it's some of the most sensible because of the history we've been through. So you got to be careful when you leave.
But we're really sensitive when it comes to us, on us.
Oh, hell
that's the part. But it's not. It shouldn't be a hell yeah. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, that the fact that you was like hell yeah. Like, we shouldn't be as critical of us as we are. Like, that is a projection. Like that. Like, that's the part that I'm saying. Like, it's okay to be critical because social media has opened the door for everybody to be critical of everyone. But when we go so hard to, like, it's like when we do something wrong, it's just like,
okay. I misunderstood what you were saying.
That's what I mean. It's like, oh my God, how can he do that? Well, it's like, and that's the part that's for me. It's like, yeah, people make mistakes all the time. Like, yo, was she thinking when she made the comments to her friend when she said together, because that was her
publicly
to her homeboy. Listen, this is what I'm saying about social media is sometimes you forget, like, people forget that you're public. You forget you're in the moment. Like, if I'm talking to you on one of your posts, well, listen, it may not be smart, but that's the whole thing that I'm saying. Everybody shouldn't be held to be this genius. People are dumb. People do dumb shit. I do dumb shit. You do dumb shit. We all do dumb shit. But it's being the extra overly critical part for me of Black people when it comes to Black people that I just be like, all right, calm down. You know what I'm saying? It's not that serious. She didn't go out and smack nobody. She didn't go out and choke nobody. She didn't do. Yeah, she made some comments. They were a little touchy. You didn't like them, cool. That's the thing. That is the thing of freedom of speech. But yeah, there's consequences to your act. But yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not. That's my whole thing is we don't have to be so critical of our own when it comes to them making mistakes. Yeah, people can make mistakes. Just don't be sitting there throwing the stone like you don't do it too. We all make mistakes. That's all.
I agree.
Go ahead, Nally.
We don't give ourselves enough empathy and compassion when it comes to things like this because we have such a complicated history, especially in this country, that we're not given the same grace as other people. Like, there are literal melanin redacted individuals who will say some really sideways shit on social media. Career, totally fucking fine. Ezra Miller literally kidnapped someone, and it took after his movie coming out and all of that jazz for them to be like, yeah, we don't fuck with him anymore. Okay. We don't allow ourselves enough. I think we're harder on ourselves because of how hard it is to be us in America. And so that's why we tend to knee-jerk react. We double down. We put extra emphasis on things. It's like we don't allow ourselves the normalcy of making mistakes because we hold ourselves to such a higher standard that it's almost impossible to let go of, like, the generational trauma and the trauma that, our communities go through. So no, I totally agree. I definitely agree with that. 100%.
My bad. I mean to applaud too early. I hear you, Ty. Another side of me is also saying though, like, all right, well, that's all fine and dandy, but one of the reasons why is because of white supremacy and racism, and why we sit here and try to hold our whole group of people to a standard, and that's something that other races don't do. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, how often do you have to justify your skin color to, like, do you know you're a white boy, right? Like, this is something that Blerd specifically, I think, have to wrestle with. But I get what you're saying. Anybody had anything else to add on to that? I want to go ahead and see what the comment section is talking about. Go ahead. You about to say something? No. All right. The comment section is speaking in about the Storm. And shout out to, I think Yaz just sent this. Somebody AI'd her already. I don't know if y'all feeling this.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, it's blurry.
I'm not feeling that at all. That's not no justice. I'm not feeling that. That's crazy.
Every day we stray further from God's light, the more we use AI for the worst things.
So crazy.
Every day we are becoming more and more children left in God's hot vehicle with the doors closed and the windows closed up. Because what the hell was that? That costume? Horrendous. The hair? Not even kinky. The edge is not even kinky. Like, what?
That's terrible.
We're not feeling the okay, I can't even. So Serenity, welcome. She said we don't need an origin, but a Storm focused movie. I can see that. I'm not opposed to that. That's not the worst thing I've heard. I wouldn't mind. I mean, we didn't get a Captain Marvel origin story. We got Captain Marvel. She had already knew Marvel. She was in the middle of training. So I agree. And not that that's the best example because Captain Marvel didn't do so well, but I hear you. Thank you, Lorena. Yes. Boost the algorithm. Al, hook your boy up. Dang, they should introduce Storm in the new Black Panther. No, I think that we need to get away from having to associate Storm with Black Panther. I wouldn't mind seeing her, but we've already been introduced to Storm way too many ways. It's time she gets her own, in my opinion. And also separate her from the X-Men. It's nice that she's with the X-Men, but Wolverine, he's with the X-Men and he's done 3 solo projects now. Let me see.
Yeah, but don't separate her off the top. Like I wouldn't separate her. I would honestly bring her out with the X-Men. And like I told you before, bro, it's going to take a good version of Storm before they decide to go with an origin story for Storm. Like we have not gotten a good version of Storm outside of X-Men 97. Like I'm just being honest. If you give us a good version of Storm, then you start hearing the rumblings. Yo, Storm, did you see her in X-Men? Oh my God, she was the movie. She was everything. She deserves her own movie. She deserves her own movie.
I think we're there. I think we're there
she's
already.
Not the one. Listen, I'm telling you, we're not there, bro. We gotta have a version of her that we can sit our, you know what I mean? Like we don't have a version. And I just think that they like if they thought we were there, we would have some type of, it would be some type of rumblings, and we haven't heard any rumblings for years.
Oh, you put too much faith in the movie industrial complex. I think that
maybe.
I agree with Ephraim. I disagree with this. I think that they need a new writer staff and they need a new vision board. They need somebody on staff, Ephraim, who actually sees who actually knows what people want, instead of just saying, you know what, we can make a Craven movie and we can make a Madam Web movie. They need somebody to slap in the face like, no, the fuck we don't. We don't need that shit. What we need is a Ben Reilly movie. What we need is you to delve into Dr. Octopus. What we need for you to do is to work with the things that we know work, instead of trying to gem up characters that nobody cares about. Literally nobody. Period. It's dead ass.
I agree with you, Ephraim. Just stop.
No, I disagree. Because Across the Spider-Verse is the best Marvel production in years. All of the Spider-Verse movies are the best. They're better than the bullshit we've been getting as of late. The only thing it's not better than is the Avengers Infinity War and Endgame sagas. But the Spider-Verse movies are the best thing popping for Marvel in the Sonyverse, in my opinion. You agree with that, Anthony? Go ahead. Oh, yeah. Thank you, internet. Cut him off. Oh, I thought you was froze.
I'm not froze. You said Anthony, so I just stopped.
Oh, yeah, Anthony. Yeah, you. Am I lying about that, bro?
Listen.
Oh, my bad. Anthony's editing his next video.
Anthony's
talking to Tyler Perry. She's hey, man, I'm trying to tell you.
You know what it is I'm doing? Because I didn't really appreciate those images of Cynthia Erivo like that. Like, she can change the way she looks. Like, if you look at younger photos of her, she doesn't look like that, right? She's an attractive woman.
Right, she's attractive.
Yeah, so like, I might not like, the comments that she made, but I don't think I don't think that's cool to just sit there and show these terrible AI photos of her. I think with, a good Black woman working on her appearance with the hair and all that, I think she could kill it as a version of Storm. One thing I really hope we do, and I hope Marvel continues to embrace, is just giving us multiple versions of characters, right? We got this whole multiverse thing going. They have multiple versions of certain characters floating around, and I would be okay if Storm falls into that bucket. I don't know how they're going to introduce the X-Men. It's a big mystery. And I'm also sitting here looking up a lot of people who I was thinking of could play Storm. Couple of the actresses honestly came from House of the Dragon. Like, anytime I saw Valerian, I was like, ooh, Storm, ooh, Storm, ooh, Storm. Like the one who played Lena Valerian, and Bela. So Bela's got that energy and Lena had that look. So I was sitting there like trying to figure out if I could just quickly AI a photo of them in the character. So you caught me slipping.
I got you. No, you good. Now I'm glad you stay on point, man. But it's don't you can't just go pick a random Black person cast with white hair and say that looks like Storm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, bro. We gotta do better. But I agree with you though. Like, when you see him immediately, you're like, all of y'all Storm. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could be, but
that's just my heart desperately wanting a Storm, right? Like, I've been waiting for one for so long that I start doing this, and we all do it, right? Like, I know when I see certain Black actors, I'll be like, ooh, T'Challa. Like, why is this not happening? So yeah.
By the way, I thought that was I don't know, just to kind of circle back, because we'll probably be going to a different subject here pretty soon. I don't know if y'all peeped when I put up the Jodie Smith Turner joint from when she was at excuse me, my bad.
Jennifer Hudson, when
she was at the Jennifer Hudson show. I don't know if y'all peeped. Just a quick mention. The Jennifer Hudson doing this little background thing has been a whole vibe as of late, and it's been getting a lot of attention. Some of the folks that we have been talking about have made some appearances on this red carpet, and I think it. Oh, you know where I'm going, Ty?
Yeah, my wife watched it like 20 times yesterday. I was like, yo, all right, you watching it again?
Enough.
I was like, yo, God, she started dancing with him. I'm like,
yes. It's like, bruh, we get it, bruh. Okay, Mufasa, all right, we get it. But it's like, calm the fuck down. Like, my God, like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe
he's officially become the enemy of the state in my house. Nigga. If you pull up over here, I got these for you. I'm telling you right now, because my wife she has really made me jealous of this dude. I'm like, what's he got that I don't got? Green eyes. Okay, all right.
Is that what we want to do? Okay,
nice smile. All right.
I'm just saying, like, it's a vibe. Is all I'm saying. Like, yo, look. Well, I would tell you what he got that you ain't got. And you can go ahead and post your account. Go ahead and post your. And me and you both in the same boat. Go ahead and post that. Post some M's, because M's is on the resume, fam. And another thing. Context used to be a thing, but now I'm just gonna go ahead and start hating right now. The same way I used to hate on New Kids on the Block and all them shits. This nigga is getting way too much attention I'm sorry, but somebody need to punch him in the face with like some brass knuckles.
With both hands. With both hands. They need to put them together and hit them like this. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gonna have to get him.
Is this even dancing? Like what are we doing?
It don't matter what he did. He could have just walked down there. He could have been all off beat. It don't matter what he do. What is he doing?
We can do that. Hey. Man, you know what I'm saying? Give me a little, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, there we go. Here.
Yeah, hey, I can do all that. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Okay. Look at that.
This that we got Aaron Pierce at home.
Timu Aaron Pierre.
Look at that. What?
You got it. Hey.
No, he ain't got shit on me, man. He ain't got shit on me, man.
We got you. We got you.
You know what I mean?
Sorry.
Yeah.
We got three. Yes, we do. We got three. How about you?
Yeah, bro.
Now he's like, all right, my bad. All right, but yeah, Cynthia was on that bit too. This just been a whole little vibe. If y'all ain't been on it, and have y'all heard how they do it? Like, listen to
everyone gets their own song.
Yeah, it's a fun. Like they make up the song. They make up, and it's so funny to see the difference between black people. Yeah, like all right, check it out. So first, since we going down this route, we're gonna give Cynthia just a moment. Oh, actually, what did they say about Cynthia? What I wonder what her song was. Let's give her. Let me see. Is she rocking that or not? I gotta give. I heard what you said, Ty. Giving people a chance, not always, And same for you, and I heard what y'all saying. And I say, as much as I've sat and I've given her a hard time this morning, if she did play Storm, I wouldn't hate. Cynthia Erivo at the happy place. Whoa. Sees every woman. Cynthia's here. Cynthia Erivo at the happy place. Whoa. She's every woman. Cynthia's here. That's dope as hell, yo. They even did it for
whatever Black woman writes every single one of these for every single guest. I hope she gets the pay she deserves. She put in work.
So you think that they sit and they write this? I feel like they just be like, why don't we just sing?
Ain't no way everybody know all the words by the time that the guests come out, unless someone pre-wrote them, handed it out, and said, memorize this shit because tomorrow we got so and so.
Good point. Let's hear what they say about your boy.
His name.
Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. What? Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. Get it. Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. Go. Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa.
All right, that's enough, man. That's enough, man. That's enough, bro.
You don't like it? You had enough? Too much?
Oh my god!
You can never have too much Aaron Pierre.
No, come on, man. Come on. Oh man.
But that's Mufasa. But that's Mufasa. All right, so we just saw the sauce. We just saw some of the sauce. Let's see it when it's not necessarily the sauce. Check this one out, y'all. Check this one out real quick. Oh, no. Can y'all hear it?
have like a deep fucking passion in my soul.
I thought I was.
Hey, Masked Singer. Bum, bum, bum.
Please stop.
Hey, Masked Singer.
Make it stop.
Bum, bum, bum. Hey, Masked
Next.
Singer. Bum, bum,
All right.
Next.
We're not okay. All right, we're not okay.
Hey,
right,
Masked Singer.
Well, we rate that. We don't rate. We give that a high rating.
No.
It's a 0 out of 10. Viewless hooligans never understand the assignment.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Masked
All
Singer.
right. What y'all rate my boy right here?
And we're all dancing hey. That shows the place to be. It's good to see your face. Ted is here at the happy place.
Yo, we got grown men.
Hey, yo.
You feeling it? What's the rating? What we rating this?
Hey, yo. That gets a -5 or -5. We're not understand from cheers, yo. Ted Danson just proved all stereotypes with white people not being able to dance. This boy couldn't catch a rhythm with hand claps. Like he couldn't. He just did a whole bunch of weird. Like yo, he reminded me of the old school pimps in the club. They used to be like, "Hey,
come on, no."
He was running to catch up to the beat, but unfortunately, he was faster.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was bad.
All right, let me see what y'all rate this one, man.
God.
Tell me what y'all feel about this, y'all. I think it's gonna be all right.
He's right. That's never wrong. That's right. That's right. Never wrong.
Is he just jogging through?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh my God, let me hurry up and get through this.
Evidence.
It's definitely you.
That's never wrong. That's right. Never wrong.
He couldn't act like a dancer for a second.
Okay.
You have feeling Chief?
Was
Commissioner Gordon right there, man. That's Chief. That's Gordon right there.
Man, that's people's.
That's people's. Goes to me.
Yo, I don't know what happened.
I heard somebody said, "Is it you that told us that he hates when people bring up the people role?" All right, yo, I gotta show y'all how to do this right, man. And I would be remiss, none other than our very own. I'm gonna go ahead and let us start.
Like this. Event at the happy place, walking like this. Pretty girls walk like this. Happy place, walking like this. Pretty girls walk happy place, walking like this. Pretty girls walk like this. That was wonderful.
I love the new Blerd order.
Yes, sir. We know that is.
I love the new Blerd order. You should too.
And right, you should too. And happy congratulations to her and her nuptials. Recently married.
Absolutely.
We talked to old boy on this show. He's not a nerd. He's a sports fan. We may have to bring him back for that. But big ups to our love, Yvette, who I believe had an update. Am I right, Nolly?
Oh, I was texting her earlier because the fires in LA. I've been trying to like repost resources and stuff as much as possible and like reach out to everybody I know who lived there. And oh my gosh, wouldn't you know it, have her number. So I texted her and I was like, hey, hope you're safe, you know. And she was like, it's like inching toward us, but we're like closer in the valley. So she's hoping that doesn't come her way. But I know. Same with Carl Jones and Love Jones. They can see it from their balcony windows. So I've been texting Love Jones all the time to make sure that she's okay and that they're staying safe as well.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you staying in touch with him. Look, Nolly is just, come on, man. How do you not love Nolly? Like, she does everything right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just but anyway, I'm trying. So quick note before we get into the next topic. And weren't you supposed to be somewhere this weekend?
Yep.
Can you want to tell us what's going on? Why you didn't go to the?
I think everybody knows what's going on. LA is on fire. Like, it is hot. It is burning down right now. The Critics' Choice Awards was supposed to be going on this Sunday. I was supposed to have flown out to LA this morning. I was looking forward to it. I think we found out like 2 days ago. They might have notified us. Little bit of drama about how we found out, but like 2 days they notified the members who were supposed to fly into town for the event that they were going to postpone until the end of the month. So, you know, I was really looking forward to it. It's a big, illustrious event. If you're in the critic space, if you're in the film space, you know, this is like our Super Bowl season. This is our playoff season where all the award shows start to validate some of our opinions throughout the year. And this was a big one. You know, there's a lot of Black projects now being nominated for Critics' Choice Awards. Nickel Boys, Andrew Ellis Taylor is in there for Best Supporting Actress. I was really looking forward to just going there and hopefully celebrating a win for all the films that I really followed throughout the past year. But yeah, the LA wildfires, man, and my heart goes out to everybody in LA right now. There's so many people going through some really, really incredible, intense stuff, like you mentioned, with the fires just destroying people's homes. One thing that really caught my eye, and I don't know if you guys saw this, was Wendell Pierce. He's out here stirring drama.
No.
So that the actor Wendell Pierce, you know, he's you know who he is? Wendell Pierce. Yeah.
Oh, so, man. Damn, I bet I ain't know my homeboy had to go, but anyway, yeah. So Wendell Pierce,
he's out here stirring a little bit of drama because, like, he's got receipts. He's like, yo, I was in New Orleans when Katrina happened, and when our homes got destroyed, people wasn't showing up, people wasn't showing out, and I hope y'all keep that same energy in LA.
Ooh.
So, like, if you look, I think it's on his Instagram. It might be on his IG. It might be on his Twitter. He posted a few posts about it, just sharing how he felt about the whole thing. He was talking about how the insurance companies was, you know, after like giving 20 years of insurance to them, they gave him a $500 check for his house, like something ridiculous. I'm gonna see if I could dig it back up. It might have been on Twitter.
I think I may have. Okay, yeah. Let me know if you can find it, because I do see here that he just has some post on there, but I don't know if it's the one that you're talking about. It evidently it's an update, and I can't put that on here without us losing it. So but yeah, that's definitely a thing. I want to send a quick word to my sister, Charlotte Samantha Taylor email. Excuse me, Dr. Charlotte Samantha Taylor email, right there in Pasadena, who had to evacuate. She says that the fires are 1 block from her house, and that a lot of the establishments that she used to take her kids to, that when they first started looking at, you know, properties in Pasadena, they're now gone. And it's surreal to her. She is highly prayed up. I mean, we're talking about, my sister's like, all my family is all like very ministerial. So she's highly prayed up. But yeah, it did touch me. And I'm gonna keep it real. I'm on a news diet right now. I'm not really watching a lot of news since November. However, this has pierced all news, and so it's really sad. And so I just hope that things get better. And I ain't gonna lie, like, it's one of those phenomenon that I'm not as familiar with. Like, being in Florida now, being from Missouri, you could talk to me about tornadoes. We could talk about what in the holy heck is going on with my house. We could talk about hurricanes all day, but I can't tell you what's going on with wildfires. That feels like one of those things that I wish technology would have taken care of a while back. You know what I'm saying, Nolly?
Can't do it without funding.
Yeah, so
and all right, so they chose to cut funding.
Yeah. Oh, California or
Yeah, they cut funding. They cut the budget for firefighters and emergency response by like a big million. And so here we are using slavery to fight fires, and ICE is showing up at shelters and homes and asking for they're used like the whole situation is
wow, they're using it to get rid of immigrants.
I feel awful for everyone losing the things that they've worked hard for. I feel horrible for people losing their homes and things like that. But they're using incarcerated teenagers who are getting paid $2.20 an hour to fight these fires. Most of these kids who won't even be able to be firefighters afterwards because they have a record. They started a program to expunge records and allow these people to become firefighters after. But since the program started in the last 3 years that it's been running, only 12 people have been approved and gone through that program. So it's modern day slavery, and ICE is showing up and asking for documentation and knocking on doors while people are evacuating to try and gather as many undocumented immigrants as possible. And it's like humanity in America especially has stooped to such a low, insane level that it's crazy that people are having to take time out of evacuating their homes, making sure they have everything prepared, to warn people like, hey, ICE is on the block, don't answer your doors, know your rights, things like that. There are undocumented immigrants who are showing up to help fight these fires, and our priority is to check for papers and see if they can be handled.
Wow, this tragedy will be defined by how we respond to this devastation 20 years later, and the lower ninth ward has been ignored. Will we ignore Altadena, the affluent Pacific? Wow. Yo.
Altadena is absolutely decimated. One of the largest, most prominent Black areas in the country is 70% gone.
Oh my God.
They got footage of people going neighborhood to neighborhood starting fires.
Yep.
Do they?
Yeah, like they're going through neighborhoods. They're like taking advantage of the situation, and they're setting houses and neighborhoods on fire. It's some real purge stuff going on out there right now.
Yo, this is great.
It's very post Katrina type things going on, and then people are more focused on like, oh no, they're looting. But at what point does shit become survival? Because resources, yeah, people are pulling for resources and things like that. But if everyone's going to the same shelters, the same spots to pick up goods, the same places, FEMA lines are tied up, the app is not working, at some point survival kicks in. Are some people being assholes? Absolutely. It's human nature to take advantage of situations, but some people get desperate, and a lot of people don't understand that level of desperation because they come from a point of privilege.
Yeah. It was King who said rioting is the language of the unheard. And not saying that these are riots, but just to kind of show that just because people are doing things, it's not always out of any kind of, malevolence. It might just be, I need to feed my kids. Stealing is one thing, but stealing to feed yourself, sometimes we tend to lean a little less on. So real quick before we move on, shout out, is there anything we could do? We see we got the Red Cross number up here. If anybody wants to donate or anybody would like to help out, if you could just, Nolly, before we move on, what are Carl and Yvette and Love saying? Are they safe? Are we good? Can we count on them being around for their annual interviews this year?
So I think first and foremost, safety is important. They're safe for now.
Okay.
I'm definitely like checking in like every day, making sure, hey, did you guys have to evacuate yet? Like, how are things going? How are you doing? Have you heard of resources that I can share? Things like that. It's important. I would advise people to not donate to the American Red Cross, as there is a lot of factual information out there that shows how they mishandle money, especially after Katrina and especially after the other recent hurricanes that we had on the East Coast, the money goes to them. It barely goes to helping the people it's supposed to help. There are a lot of local organizations that you can post. I'll repost most of them on the New Blerd Order Instagram later in the stories. There are a lot of companies that are giving away free food, free meals to evacuees and first responders. There are companies that are asking for donations so that they can distribute locally. So I'll make sure that everyone's okay. Tiffy is good. She's not like right next to the fires. But she's also like, I think she just flew to New York yesterday. So I think she's pretty okay. But I keep tabs with her too as well.
Please. I'm so grateful to you for that. That's something I gotta work. Wouldn't even have hit up my sister if my mom and them didn't make me aware of what was going on. So yeah, shout out to you, Nali, for doing that. Shout out to everybody that we know that's been impacted by this. And yo, hearts, thoughts, prayers, all that stuff is going out to you. And I can't help but hope that this is over sooner than later, and including those that we don't even know. I did want to circle back on a topic that we talked about earlier, where we were kind of debating whether or not we wanted an actual African to play Storm, or how we felt about Wakanda and people not from Africa playing Wakandan folks. Well, as of late, just recently, because of something that you all brought to my attention in the group, it's evidently being an African actor doesn't always necessarily mean that that's the end all tell all. And that may even come with some problems. There's still some big racism.
For decades.
John Hudson has kind of talked a little bit about it. And I would like to, if it's okay with y'all, see how I feel about this, because this kind of took me out. It's kind of struck me out the blue. And let's talk about it on the other end of this real quick.
Still struggling, trying to make a living.
After 30 years in this business.
I've been in this business and making films now over 2 decades, and still, with 2 Oscar nominations, many big blockbuster films, and yet I'm still struggling financially to make a living. I'm definitely underpaid.
How has Hollywood changed in terms of African representation in what you see since you started out to what's being produced now?
I was nominated for a Golden Globe, but they ignored me for the Oscars, talking about the fact that they thought that I just came off the boat and off the streets. Even though I successfully did that, they just didn't feel like I was an actor for whom we should pay any respect to. So this conceptual idea of diversity, it still has a long way to go. Systemic racism don't change like that anytime soon.
Growing up, you're one of the first big Black actors I saw in big budget films. So it's mind-boggling to me.
But that's a sign for you that systemic racism is not something that you can deal with lightly. You have to cope with it and survive the best way you can. I'm still struggling, trying to make a living.
After 30 years in this business.
I've been in this business and making films now over 2 decades, and still, with 2 Oscar nominations, many big blockbuster films, and yet I'm still struggling financially to.
Why is this hard for me to accept? Why not the racism part, the definition of struggling?
Well, hold on. It's all relative, right? When you look at his peers who are 2-time Academy Award nominated actors, he's comparing it to that. He's not saying he's homeless. It's not like saying he's in a circumstance where he's going to not eat tonight. He's just saying, compared to my contemporary peers, I'm not getting what I deserve. And this isn't new news, right? We heard Taraji make this noise when she was promoting The Color Purple. I've heard it from Black actors all the time. Giancarlo was about to commit suicide in order to get the insurance money. It's not, and I actually brought this up on my live stream the other day. Like, in Hollywood, Black actors have to fight an uphill battle. It's already hard to get cast in a movie, but then when you actually do get in the movie, you're not going to get paid like everybody else. We there's one alpha that gets paid, then everybody else gets whatever. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of. I when he's talking about how he's not getting paid, I agree. I believe him. I believe him, right? For all we know, this dude he should be a lot better off considering the amount of work he's put in over the years, the talent we've seen from him on screen, and how he actually is a draw, right? Djimon Hounsou is a draw. He can draw people into theaters. I remember watching Shazam. I was like, yo, he's like the best part of this bad movie. Like,
100%.
Right? Like, yo, Djimon Hounsou deserves higher pay, as do a few other Black actors, but I can only imagine what it's like for him as an African actor coming into America trying to get equal pay.
Yeah. I guess the only issue, I don't discount what he said. I agree with you 100%. Djimon is not just, I mean, he was in if I'm not mistaken, he's in Shazam, but he was also in a Marvel movie.
Guardians.
He's
in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right?
Your favorite James Gunn movie.
Yeah.
So I mean, the dude is, I mean, he's working, and I guess it's sad. My issue isn't with what Hollywood is doing. I definitely am not in any way, shape, or form discounting what he said. Here is, let me just play this back one more time, and let me just kind of just delve into exactly what he said here, and I'll press pause here.
I'm still struggling trying to make a living.
After 30,
I'm still struggling trying to make a living. Not my peers are getting way more than me. Not, yo, I don't get the same respect I believe I deserve. I'm struggling to make a living sounds to me like I'm having trouble paying my bills. That sounds to me like I can't necessarily get all the money necessary to pay everything. And that's the part, if I'm being honest, look, I know you're looking at me like, but I just have trouble believing that. Maybe he's not.
How do you think he lives? You think he lived in like?
Isn't he with Kamora Lee Simmons?
No, they broke up in 2012.
They broke up like a decade ago. And no,
I don't know.
You got to remember,
his net worth is literally $4 million. And when you break down your earnings as an actor, you have to pay your agent. You have to pay the manager. You have to pay stylists for your events. You have to pay for travel and things like that. Like if you're doing appearances on shows. And so like all of that. So if you're already getting less than your co-stars and you're not booking roles as often, all of that shit goes away so fucking fast and so quickly.
Okay.
He's got a lot of movies too. My man has been out here putting in work. Amistad, Gladiator,
Blood Diamond,
Tomb Raider, Constantine, How to Train Your Dragon.
He was so good in Constantine.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Fast and the Furious, Shazam, Charlie's Angels, A Quiet Place, Black Adam.
So again,
Rebel Moon.
Oh yeah, he was in Rebel Moon, and actually I like this character in that, even though the movie itself is questionable. But Tarzan. Somebody said Tarzan.
Tarzan.
Was he in Tarzan?
The Legend of Tarzan.
Yeah, that's
the one with the scars.
Unknown for his house. That is so. The thing is, like, I'm not questioning whether he's underappreciated, underpaid. That's not the question. The question is he really struggling to? All right, let me reframe this. There's Hollywood struggling, then there's regular people struggling.
Come on, man.
I think it's both.
All right. I think that regular people struggling is, look, I cannot feed my kids this month unless I take out food stamps, unless I request loans. Struggling in this context, and I'm not trying to make light on it, but struggling is probably not being able to keep up with your $1 million home, right? So it's probably not being able to. That's not in my book. That is really a struggle. Struggling.
Listen, hold on. You don't come this far just to stay in the projects, man. You don't sit here and make this successful. And listen, I know I lived in the projects, right? And now that I'm out of the projects, I always put this stuff relative, right? When you can't pay your bills, when you have people that depend on you and you can't provide for them, that shit is a mental struggle. You think Giancarlo was in a trailer home when he was contemplating committing suicide? No. But when he said he's struggling to pay his bills, he's got a lot of responsibilities he's got to maintain, right? Djimon Hounsou probably has a lot of responsibilities. He probably has a lot of people that depend on him. He has a lot of things going on in his life. He's got a couple ex-wives. He has a child. He might have $1 million home. God bless him for getting $1 million home, because that's what his success has earned him. And he probably deserves more. Again, when you look at other people who are in those type of supporting roles and lead roles like he was, there's probably his peers that are not African that have way more. So this is the basis for him to say something like, I'm struggling, right? If I don't, and I'm just going to make a name up. I don't know if this is true, but if you were to compare him to like someone like a Norman Reedus or something, Norman probably got way more money, probably got bigger houses, probably isn't in the same circumstance. This man narrates documentaries, is a co-star in films. When you see him, you always appreciate him, and then he's gone. Nah, man. I'm struggling. I hear you what you're saying. Like, it's not struggling. Nobody's saying he's going back to the project. Nobody's saying he's on food stamps or anything like that. But you can struggle in your own space.
You can definitely struggle. But what he did, the quote is
not last.
The quote. Go ahead, Nadi, my bad.
In 2023, he literally opened his home out for rent. Like, for someone to rent his 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home.
Okay. Listen.
Is it a large home or is it a modest home? Right? Maybe that'll help Vince. Maybe he's imagining he lives in like Rick Ross's house. I don't know.
It's a small mansion built in 1990 that's in a cul-de-sac. It's 4,000 square feet.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't consider 4,000 square feet a mansion. But I guess
it sounds like he was living within his means.
I don't want to discount this brother's struggle.
He was renting his house for $11,000 a month.
Yep.
Struggle to make ends meet and struggling to make it as an actor, two different things. I just question whether or not his struggle would be the same as our struggle. Would any of us trade places with him? You know what I'm saying? Even though he struggled, that's my question. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm like,
I could say here, if you were struggling tomorrow to pay your mortgage, I could find a bunch of people that's willing to trade places with you, because they'll be sitting there, be like, you've got a mortgage, right?
Right.
But you would still be struggling because you have children, you have a wife, you have people that depend on you, and that's a mental toll on you. So struggling, is not always the literal, oh, I can't eat tonight. Struggling could be your mental health, right? Like, I have to put out my house for rent. Where am I sleeping tonight? Right? It's $11,000 a month he's renting it. So his mortgage has got to be smaller than that. And if you're an actor and you can't afford $10,000 a month to pay your mortgage, some of these actors are spending $10,000 for their lunches.
I want the brother to get more money. I'm not questioning whether or not he's underpaid or underappreciated. I am curious as to what the definition of struggling to make ends meet. This is what he said.
I feel like it just struck a nerve.
Not just struck a nerve. It's just I want to make sure, like, we love Djimon Hounsou for all of the reasons that you listed, all of the roles that he had.
He was Black Panther.
I mean, he was Black Panther in the animated series that was on BET, which I loved, where we actually did have I think it was a lot of good actors in that. Who played Storm was Storm was in it. They were together. They kissed. Storm would fly off with him and all of that. It was crazy. But I take away. This is Djimon Hounsou. If it wasn't Djimon Hounsou, I don't know if I would feel as much sympathy for him, because in my head I'm like, okay, there's still another class that you exist in, and that class could be downgraded. I don't know. Maybe it's just, for me, it's hard to imagine like folks that are millionaires that still
maybe he's a millionaire, maybe he's still a thousandaire. We don't know that.
His equity is over $1 million if he has $1 million home. You know what I'm saying? So he could live below his wage, but he wants to stay where he is, and he has every right to do so. I think that the big thing to take away from this is that he is not getting what he deserves, what he's earned. And that is something that we can all agree on. As to whether or not he's if he's living paycheck to paycheck, whether or not he has to check his account before he makes any purchases, that's what I'm questioning. And that's what I consider real struggling. Like, it's just hard for me to like equate his struggling to make a living wage or to pay the bills for his $4,000 square foot house and compare that with the people that don't have representation, that don't have acting, that don't have any opportunities coming up to make $1 million project, who can't do voiceover stuff and just have to deal with it. You know, so I guess for me, it's just two different types of struggling. There's Hollywood struggling. Oh, I don't know if I can keep up with my $1 million house, and I may have to downgrade to a 3-bedroom house somewhere.
So what is okay? What levels of success is okay? Right? Because it feels like it's semantics about this man being certain level of success, and then I'm not sympathizing with him because he's up there.
Oh, no. I sympathize with them. I just don't think that his struggle is the everyday poor American struggle.
He never said that, but he never said that. All he said was, I'm struggling to make it
to make ends meet.
Yes, and ends meet for him is that.
When you're a millionaire, when you
ends meet for millionaires.
Listen,
he's in a different lane, right? He's in a different lane that is unfamiliar to us, right? But when you get in that lane, when you're pioneering something, there's going to be struggle. And maybe we don't relate. Correct. Maybe we can't see because our struggles are different, but I don't think admonishing this man saying he's struggling is a good thing.
Well, I'm not admonishing him. I'm simply questioning what struggle looks like for him versus what struggle looks like for my cousin DJ, you know, or what struggle looks like for any of us. I just think it looks very different. Struggle for him is I come home and I can't get that furniture. I can't make this car payment. I have to downgrade. Struggle for us is our house doesn't exist. We're in a homeless shelter. So making ends meet, I just think it has variance. It just has different degrees of variation. I just think that the way he worded it, it's just different. I'm not admonishing him. I think that he's going to get my money. I love him. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go see his movies. I just think that there may be varying degrees of quote unquote financial struggles. And I think that his may not be the same as ours, but I think we already knew that anyway. I ain't going to harp on it, you know, whether we agree or not. Either way, we both love this brother and we both want him to do even more things. I mean, let's not forget, he was just in The Quiet Place, right? You know what I'm saying? Like this, I think this is the part that hurts me the most. It's seeing people do big things, but not be rewarded for them. I think that's what hurts me the most. This kind of reeks of when, all right, quick story. Then I want to talk about Nali, if your article, if you wouldn't mind sharing with us some of your thoughts about it, because I thought it was extremely instrumental. I loved it. But my thing is like, all right, as a stand-up comic, when I first got into stand-up, right, I was like, all right, you know, everybody I met that was already doing stand-up that was halfway established, I thought they were rich. I thought they made it. You know, if I ever met anybody that was like on TV, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my God, you're famous. You made it. I remember when I first worked with the Wild and Out crew, you know, when I first was working on them on tour, and I was chatting with Conceited and Hit Boy and all of these cats. And when I first worked with Conceited, we did some performances in some clubs afterwards. And I was the one who was supposed to hold on to the money. When I gave him the money that we were paid, like he was so happy. And it was like, it wasn't that much money. It was like $1,200 for a quick 15-minute appearance. And he was like, oh my God. And in my head, I was like, yo, I thought you was well off. So sometimes my perception of folks' establishment is off. So perhaps maybe I am thinking of Djimon Hounsou as like somebody who should have Tony Stark's mansion over there somewhere. And perhaps, this whole time, my perception is completely off. And he's been working his ass off and getting peanuts. And that's the travesty, that he's not getting what he deserves, I believe. And that would make him not be able to get the $1 million host. I've spent too much on this, man. Let's talk about something else, man. God dang, man. I feel like I'm coming across like an asshole. Coming across like a whole asshole. Comment to my asshole. Let us know what's up, chat. Talk to him, man. I feel bad. I feel like it's me coming across like an asshole. Anyway, we were going to talk about Yaz's. If she left, by the way, I don't know if you've noticed, but yeah, we've lost a few folks. Ty had to ride. Yaz is gone as well. Well, she could never join us, but she's in the comment section. What's up, Yaz? and Steph had to ride as well. But you still got us three, and we're gonna ride this thing out for another couple minutes. But Nolly has been very instrumental in working with the Black Nerd Problems publications, and as of late, she recently had an article that I thought was very, very interesting. If we could, Nolly, I think we touched on this a little bit last week, but do you mind if we kind of talk about this a little bit? Is it cool?
Sure. Which one are we talking about?
So the one that I was reading that I thought was the most interesting, well, I won't say the most interesting, but the one that you did about Secret Level, all right,
yeah.
And how it didn't get enough. Let's
Y'all
say
not talking about it
attention.
enough, and it don't sit right with my spirit.
It didn't get enough attention. So what is it, if I may? I'm trying to bring this up on the screen. What is it that you found unflattering about the reaction from most folks about Secret Level, if you will?
So I'm chronically online. I admit that with regret and with shame, but I am chronically online, and the fact that I have to go to the search bar and look for people talking about Secret Level other than it coming down, because I follow everyone, every studio, rumor accounts, game accounts. I follow everything, so I usually know when trailers drop, when games drop, how games are doing, what people are talking about. Like, I know. But I could not find, without having to search for it, people talking about Secret Level.
And so I guess you took it upon yourself to make us all aware.
I'm doing my best. And I feel like it's several things. We have not been blessed with a lot of good video game adaptations when it comes to projects. And so I'm sure there's a lot of apprehension there. Number two, marketing was slim to none. We got some teaser trailers, but not much in between there. And they kind of announced it when Vox Machina dropped. So like having to drop Vox Machina and then being like, by the way, this other show is coming out. I think that didn't work out very well. And so it's a lot of poor marketing, a lot of apprehension, and then the fact that the episodes are kind of short. I feel like people looked at it and they were like, well, what am I going to get into it for? But I think Secret Level is such a good segue into, especially if you're not a gamer, you didn't have to know background lore to get the gist of what was going on in each episode.
I will say this though, Nolly. I did not know what was going on in each episode. Like, I was lost. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there was a couple episodes I was like, I wish there was at least some background, maybe in the description. Like, I'm not a Warhammer guy, so I didn't get the Warhammer episode. I didn't get it at all. I literally did not understand it. All right.
So I've only played tabletop Warhammer. I've not played Space Marines. I've not played Warhammer 40K. I have it on my computer, but I've literally never touched it. I think I touched it once to make a character and never touched it again. But it made me so hype for the projects that are coming out with Henry Cavill, because not only are they doing a show, they're doing films. And so I felt like if Prime could give me this 15-minute intense ass little episode of Warhammer, then I have some good hopes for what they're going to do with the show and the movies.
Yeah, I mean, they've got Henry Cavill slided on that docket. I think he's number one on the call sheet for that upcoming live action project.
He's producing. He's the one who pitched
it.
Oh
wow! And he's producing it.
He's starring in the show. He's producing the films. I think he'll be in one of the films, but not all of them. But he's the one who pitched it. Like, he has such a love for Warhammer, the tabletop game, and the video games, that he pitched it to the studios. And until Amazon was the only one that was like, yeah, no, we're totally on board with it.
Yo, if dare I say, if Henry Cavill is at the helm, then it will be a source accurate.
100%.
He walks.
He's the biggest nerd, and he has such a respect for source material. And obviously,
that's right.
That's why he left Witcher.
He's like,
that's Cavill's baby now.
You gotta respect the dude like that. You read comics and lift
Henry
weights.
Cavill is a gamer. He actually, and it's funny too because he used to never shut up about how he'd be on films and be late to set because he's playing World of Warcraft. My man's is a nerd.
You gotta love it when he's one of us. One of us.
He builds his own PCs like he's one of us. He just don't got the melanin, just like me.
But but it's weird because you're not. It kind of gives. I mean, just from a physical specimen standpoint, not from anything else. But
he's a physical specimen.
What I was just gonna say, it kind of gives the same confusion I got when we were introduced to Hellspawn. I was like, okay, this brain not working. Okay, football linebacker who knows way more source and stuff in the world than I like. It doesn't. I didn't, but I love seeing it. And yes, again, just to shine the light on Nolly, you guys, where can we find Nolly? Where can we find your periodical? So, by the way, this is brought to you by Black Nerd Problems, who Nolly is a member of as of now. So we like double dipping.
I'm working on 2 new pieces to send in tomorrow, but I will be popping up on Black Nerd Problems at least bi-weekly or so. I've written 3 so far, just to like get my feet wet, and Omar was like, "Yeah, no, you're in there," and so here I am. So Black Nerd Problems.
So Black Nerd Problems, for those of y'all who've been following us and been watching us for a while, Omar, who was on our show for a while, still is, but he's not as frequent. Tiffy as well. We got our recurring roles. They're originally members of a group called Black Nerd Problems, which has an IG and a YouTube and a Facebook, and most importantly for right now, a website. The website Black Nerd Problems can literally just be seen by going to Black Nerd Problems. And if you go there, you'll find articles by our lovely one and only Nolly, who has been our everything for the longest. So big up to you, Nolly. That's a big deal. We happy. I'm proud of you, yo. That's a big deal. Just got to let us know when you drop all these projects so we can make sure we big them up, man, because I'm extremely excited about whenever you drop something, because you're a gamer, and gamers are about their video games. So I wonder if you're excited about some of these upcoming video games, because there is a whole list of video games coming in 2025. Let's go ahead and talk about some of them real quick. Here is a list.
The best video games coming out in 2025. First, we have the most anticipated game of this year, Grand Theft Auto 6. Next, we have Ghost of Yotei, which is a PS5 exclusive. Next, we have Elden Ring Night Reign, which is a multiplayer co-op Elden Ring spin-off. Next, we have Marvel Knight.
Do me a favor, just tell me to stop when you want me to stop if there's something that really interests you, okay? I'm going to let this thing go through.
First of all of those so far, the GTA 6, I'm ready. I just want to do hood rat shit with my friends. Sign me up.
Did you beat the 5th one?
With my friends. What?
Did you beat 5?
Yes. And I have it on my PC and my PlayStation.
Yeah. You beat it on multiple platforms?
PS4, PS5, PC.
Like, why not? And then you should see
what was your completion? What's your completion? I know you didn't get 100%.
No, I'm missing some things, but I am a completionist, and when I have a hyperfixation, I will go back and I will get them all.
Wow. But it's multiplayer now. We should have been collaborating. All right, I'm sorry. I'm a little mad at you right now.
GTA, I'm ready for.
All right, guys, here the best.
Elden Ring Night Reign, I just signed up for beta testing because they dropped it yesterday, so I'm definitely going to do that. Ghosts of Yotei, obviously. That's not even a question. Hey, okay. I'm about to be slaying in these feudal streets. Okay. Like, please sign me the fuck up.
All right, cool. Let's go through some more of these. Let's see what else we're excited about. All right, man. Keep on talking. We listening.
Best video games coming out in 2025. First, we have the most anticipated game of this year, Grand Theft Auto 6. Next, we have Ghost of Yotei, which is a PS5 exclusive. Next, we have Elden Ring Night Reign, which is a multiplayer co-op Elden Ring spin-off. Next, we have Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra.
I'm excited about that shit. I'm ready for the Rise of Hydra. Like, when's the last time we got an adventure game from Marvel where it wasn't Marvel Rivals or Avengers, you know what I'm saying? Where you can actually beat the game, on single player mode. When's the last time we got something like that other than Spider-Man 2? All right, I know Spider-Man 2, but It's time. And Black Panther and Cap Am? What?
If I wanted to punch Nazis, I would just go outside.
Was it Midnight Suns a game that you could beat?
I thought Midnight Suns was one of those RPG low-key games. Like you gotta have. I didn't play it, but it felt more RPG-ish. Am I wrong, Nali?
It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was RPG-ish. It was more.
Skylar, you missed, bro. We talked. That was the whole first hour. I can watch and comment.
But it was more tactical than like a normal RPG. You know, like you had to think your shit through.
But it wasn't like Ghost of Tsushima. Hey, here's a game, beat it. Yeah, there's all these. So I don't know. I don't think so. But what's up, Ant?
They had Guardians of the Galaxy. They had Spider-Man. They had Iron Man VR. They've had games.
Guardians of the Galaxy. That's so old.
They've been putting out games. It's just nobody really cares about these games.
Okay, let's see what else is coming up.
Video game based on Captain America and Black Panther teaming up to defeat the Nazis. Next, we have Pokemon Legends ZA. Next, we have Skate. They're finally bringing back the legendary Skate games, and I used to love these games as a kid, so I can't wait to play it again. Next, we have Gears of War E-Day, which is a prequel to the original Gears of War.
Y'all do Gears of War?
Sign me the fuck up.
I ain't got an Xbox.
Yo, sign me the fuck up. When I tell you I have a disgusting passion for Gears of War.
Yeah, you followed all the way.
Look, if Netflix fucks up these movies, I will personally go and riot by myself in front of the studios. Okay, they better not do it fucking dirty. I will be so upset.
Is it a movie out, Nelly?
So Netflix is pairing with the game studio and they're doing the movies. And luckily the creators of the games are going to take part in the production and the writing and everything. But if I am not sobbing when Dom finds his wife, like I do every time I replay the fucking game, if I am not sobbing and calling my therapist after, we're gonna have problems. We will have fucking problems, okay? I need emergence date I need it to look convincing, okay? If the video game can give me good graphics in 2025, you can give me good graphics for this movie, okay? I seen Avatar. I seen it. It can be done. Don't fuck this up for me. Don't. And the casting better be on fucking point.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! All right, my bad. I hope y'all heard
for games. Next, we have Dune Awakening, which is a third.
I want to play this.
This is intriguing. Dune Awakening. Dune is trying to be Marvel-esque. You know, they got the big screen and the little screen. Now the video game.
Dune is a very big franchise, and so the fact that it's getting all of this love,
it's probably just to
making it.
You're right. It is. It did come out before Star Wars. You're right. I do need to put some respect on that. My bad.
Person game based in the universe of Dune, and I'm really excited to try this game out. Next, we have Dune: The Dark Ages.
Say what, Nali?
Funcom is making Dune Awakening. They're the ones that made the Conan Exiles games.
Do we like Funcom?
I mean, the character creation looks really good if you haven't seen it yet, but
okay. All right, let's see what else.
Which is a prequel to the Doom games. Next, we have Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. The trailer for this game literally looks like a movie, so I cannot wait for this game to come out. Next, we have Borderlands 4. Next,
Nali. Borderlands.
Okay, so it's funny because we were watching the Game Awards and they played the trailer for Borderlands 4, and I turned to my husband. I said, "Who asked for this?" And he goes, "Everyone." And I was like, "Oh, not me."
Well, I thought Borderlands was your shit. I really thought that was your jam.
I enjoy Borderlands, but I don't think I could do what do I need another game for?
What?
Death Stranding, on the other hand, okay, the first game took me 72 hours to beat, right? What the fuck was it about? I cannot tell you. I can't tell. It's literally when they dropped the trailer, I was like, yes, thank you, you merciful God, for whatever the fuck that was. played the game, and I'm still like, what the glorified UPS man with the baby on his back with the alien, like, it felt like a fever dream. It felt like I was high the entire time, but I was here for it. Do I want to play a second one? Absolutely not, because I will get frustrated. Am I going to do it? Absolutely, I will. I'm a glutton for punishment. Yep, I will. I will spend the 80 something hours to beat it and be like, so what the fuck happened again?
Do you gummy up for the is that what it is? I know, yo, come on. Yeah, we know you too well, Nolly. Come on, man. 72 hours gummied up. No, you don't remember that shit. Of course. What did you talk about? Man,
I can't tell you none damn thing. Not a damn thing.
I like this League of Legends joint though. I would love to play Arcane.
I'm very excited. I do love League of Legends.
We have two.
I don't like the people who play it, but I love it.
Uh-oh. Well, hold on. Wait. What's that? Talk to me about that.
The Mountain calls it a sweaty game because I get sweaty when I play. Like when I play Overwatch, I start cussing people out and I get upset. I don't cuss them out on the microphone because once they hear you're a woman, then it's like, oh, I'm going back into the kitchen. I'm like, well, go pay your mom rent. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But League is notorious for having like such a fucking toxic fandom that I cannot tell you, like when I first started playing and I was learning, even though I had other people on my team who had been playing for years and were teaching me how to play, still got cussed out after every game. And I'd be like, I'm just having a great time. Look at her. She's got octopus tentacles. Like, just living my best life. And someone is having a whole conniption and busting a damn clot in their brain because I didn't go middle lane when obviously Alawi is a top lane player, but we're not going to talk about it. Anyway, it's a sweaty game. I get sweaty. Sometimes I want to drop my keyboard in some water and never touch it again.
Wow. Okay. All right. We'll
play the new League game. 100%.
All right. Let's keep the game chat up. Let's see what's up.
XKO, which is a 2v2 fighting game based in the world of League of Legends. Next, on February 14th, we have Assassin's Creed Shadow. We are finally getting an Assassin's Creed set in Japan. Next,
you an Assassin's Creed guy, Anthony?
I want to be. Isn't this the one is this the one that's going to be with Yasuke?
Yes.
This one got a lot of people upset. Rubbing some people the wrong way. They're like, oh, what's all this DEI stuff? And they're like, this is history. This is what
it's literally like none. Yes, do the Assassin's Creed games have fiction in them? Obviously, it's a fucking video game, but are they based on history? Absolutely. I don't see why they wouldn't do it. But then again, it's always like, oh no, the woke shit. Here we go. They're ruining things. But the last good Assassin's Creed game was Black Flags, and that was a hot minute ago. So are we really like gonna hold Assassin's Creed to such a high standard? Like, if you don't want to play it, don't fucking play it. You're not gonna miss much by missing it. I promise you that.
I'm more excited for Ghost of Yotai.
Same.
Ghost of Yotai? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Let's keep the vibes. All right. What else do we have on our video game list?
Next, on February 28th, we have Monster Hunter Wilds. I've never played any of the Monster Hunter games, but I have heard that they're good. Let me know in the comments below if I should try it out.
Monster Hunter, anybody?
I played the last one.
Yeah, I played the last one too. People don't like to play with me because I have ADHD. And if I see something shiny, I will go pick it up. And then after we fight the boss, it gives you like at the bottom of the screen, it'll show you who got what. So you'll see like top DPS was so-and-so, top this was so-and-so. Most items collected, Nalia.
So you ain't killing nobody.
Look, I was there.
Are you a lurker?
And I saw something and I had to go pick it up because what if I forgot about it later? So like I just picked it up. I came back, I did a little, but then I.
Oh no. So you went to the back of the line, left them to the front of the line. You went off to scavenge. You went scavenge hunting.
There's a reason why I play ranged characters. I can pick up the herbs that I need and shit. You know, like I don't got to be all up in his face. I have very bad, I have bad depth perception. So like, if I'm too close, what if I get in something or he sideswipes me? I'd rather from distance and pick up the shit I need, because how else am I gonna have all the materials for the cute armor you can build if I don't collect?
Oh man.
You can't fight monsters if you don't look cute.
Yo.
And I want to fight the
I cannot. All right, Nolly, let's keep it moving. We still got some more games. Let's see what else we talk about, man. Give me something else.
Next, on March 6th, we're getting Fragpunk, which is a fast-paced, colorful first-person shooter. Next, on March 27th, we have Atomfall. Next, on March 28th, we have Inzoi, which is basically a super realistic Sims game. And there are also some rumors that the Blade game is also supposed to release this year.
Blade game?
It doesn't. If I'm not mistaken, the studio that's releasing the Blade game doesn't have a great track record, but the game looks good.
Okay, we might have to delve a little deeper into that. Comments, don't go nowhere. We coming to y'all next, and then we gonna get up out of here. All right, what else we got on the list?
Finally, the game I'm most excited for, Black Ops 2 Remastered. Let me know in the comments below which game you're most excited to try.
I ain't gonna lie, I think I did Black Ops 2. Are y'all doing Call of Duty?
I haven't done COD in a while.
I just downloaded the recent one, and
I don't do it. I stopped playing Call of Duty and switched over to playing Battlefield.
Oh, Battlefield? Didn't 2 come out a couple years ago? Battlefield 2?
Battlefield 2024.
2024, yeah.
I was playing 5 for like a couple of years, and then 2024 dropped. But I didn't like the 2024 as much as I liked 5. So I think I played it like a handful of times.
Anybody playing Path of Exile?
I used to play Path of Exile a lot. Path of Exile 2 came out, no?
Yeah, that's what I'm on right now. I'm like, what is this?
It's like Diablo meets other dungeon crawlers.
This is my first one. Like I got it. I have this game in PC I never game on. And then my brother-in-law was like, get it. So now I'm in it. And I'm playing by myself. I'm doing pretty good. So I might, anybody watching, you might see me on Twitch just randomly playing either Spider-Man or that. Yeah.
I might download. Let me just download it real quick.
Yeah, man.
Like $30.
I'm heavy on Black Wukong right now. Like, that's my new game. It got me. It's one of the first games that I bought just off of seeing other people play it. Like, you know how you go on PlayStation and you're like, so-and-so is playing such and such. So I'm like, I kept seeing Black Wukong. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? What is it? What are they playing? And I went, I was like, oh my God. Go ahead.
Lorraine, she asked, she goes, wait, guys, when do you have time to do all this? I don't. Let me tell you how being autistic and ADHD works. I don't have the time for all this, but I ignore everything that I need to do so that I can do this for my mental health, so I don't have a mentee bee. Like, as soon as the days I work from home, as soon as it hits 4:30, the laptop goes to the side and I'm on the computer and I'm playing something. Like, the weekends, Sunday mornings, I wake up early because of the kids and I'm like, I'm gonna play something. Should I be doing my homework? Absolutely. Do I wait until Monday night when it's due? Always.
Yo, so there's your answer, Raina. And for me, I ain't gonna lie, like, I just game whenever I get some spare time. Like, and that's probably about to start running low, but I gaming it never yet. Oh, thanks. Oh, got the cheek. Are you watching? Are you the one person watching the streams? Because thank you. So whoever it is that keeps coming in and watching, I apologize. The last couple of days I have been on mute, but I've been talking a lot. It gets crazy. I didn't even realize. I went back to rewatch. I was like, how come I can't hear myself? The whole time I was on mute and I was cussing y'all out too. But I was like, oh, God damn it, I'm losing. But anyway, yes, I will be on stream today, so go ahead and follow us. And I stream on New Blerd Order,
I feel like Vince should play Dark Souls 3 because that would be fun to watch.
Dark Souls, what is that?
Playing a hard game and just to hear him curse out.
I don't want to. Yo, this shit was. I was cussing this game out. I was cussing out Black Wukong because it was.
It's like a Soulsborne game adjacent.
Well,
It looked like Ninja Gaiden.
Yes.
Black Wukong. Did y'all play Onimusha?
Yeah.
Onimusha. It's like Onimusha, but a little bit better. With obviously Onimusha is from PlayStation 1, I think, or maybe PlayStation 2.
You ever played Ninja Gaiden?
We're aging ourselves.
Yeah, but it's better than Ninja Gaiden because Ninja Gaiden is board based. This is more world based.
Okay.
Like you don't get to the end of the board and like, oh, I beat the boss. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to go to different places and you know what I'm saying? But the problem I have is that it was getting on my nerves because you have to level up. And then at first they only give you like one or two places to level up. So you got to keep playing the same board over and over, keep beating the same enemies just so you can get your strength up to be able to fight the first couple bosses. And that is annoying. Like playing the same board like 100 times on some Groundhog Day shit. But after I got over that, everything else is fine. So we'll definitely check that out. I want to get y'all opinion on this real quick, and then we'll go ahead and start checking the comments out. Excuse me, and then we'll go ahead and get up out of here. What was that? What was that?
That was a hiccup burp.
This is what y'all want me to play? Soul. What is this? Dark Souls? Is this an RPG? Nah, can I swing and fight and hit somebody? Y'all trying to make me have a heart attack.
You'll be rolling a lot to dodge, and so you could swing and fight if you want. Won't guarantee that you'll live, but it'll be great.
Do I have to create my own elixirs? Do I have to like come up with the okay? All right, as long as I ain't gotta like.
The only thing you have to do is like put stats in for your build, but like that's like pretty basic, you know. Strength to carry more shit, strength to be strong, agility and shit, so that you can roll out the way faster, swing faster, dexterity. You know the usual.
Yeah, the usual. All right. Speaking of video games, I wanted to get you all's take on this, which I don't know if I'm ready for this, but then after this, let's just go ahead and chat with the comments. So we all sat and talked about how much we love video games. Video games have changed over the years, definitely a lot since I was coming up. We used to go to the bowling alley and stuff like that to play. But now there's technology, I guess, that is making it so that we can not only play the game, but also we can be in the game. You can see, shoot, and even smell. They want you to be able to smell the games now. Is that where we going?
I know it smells ripe.
Oh my god! And like if we're upper
it smells like outside and upper lip, and I'm real sensitive to smells. I'm not doing it.
So you're not gonna play. You don't want to smell the fungus in the air in Last of Us 2. You don't want to smell.
I already go to conventions. I smell the fungus in the air then. Why do I want to smell it while I'm playing video games? It do smell like earring backs. Yes, Harmony. It smells like earring backs. Like, why would I want that experience? First of all, if there were ever a zombie apocalypse, I'm checking the fuck out. Okay, I love zombie movies. I love everything about zombies, but do I want to partake? Absolutely the fuck not. I'm checking out. That's it. Cardio, not for me. I'm not about it. Why do I want to smell it? Give myself that trauma. Why would I want that? Who wants that? It probably smells like everybody's basement that they play in the game, and I don't want that for me. I want to play the game, put the controller down, and let the experience be that. I can barely handle when the controller vibrates, okay? I don't want any more of that. I don't. It's not for me.
Hey, when Nolly speaks, we listen. Yo, all right, well, Anthony, would you play a game that you could smell? It was Last of Us.
You keep bringing up The Last of Us, man. Like there's other games, man. Like
I can play cooking. What's that game?
Overcooked or something?
Cooking food or whatever. That'd be nice. Smell blueberry pie.
Yeah, I'm here for that. I'm here
for dead shit.
Yeah, I don't want to play. Wasteland. And be able to smell it. Like I don't want to be playing like Star Wars, and then I end up in the trash compactor, and I can smell all that shit. I don't need that. Like, what about you, Ant?
Look, we getting ready and closer to be in the world of Ready Player One, and I'm here for all of that. I'm here for all of that, right? They already got the movable floor that keeps track of your steps in the game. We already got the meta handsets where you got the triggers built into it with the visor. Anything that helps immerse me in this world, they're about to start taking all our money. Remember years ago, we used to see them PS9 commercials? This is it, right? This is the proof of concept right here. We moving closer to that.
Wow. I don't know if I'm ready to smell fungus. I just don't think that. I think
what if you're playing Grand Theft Auto and you can smell that Zai? Oh, that's what the water on it.
Right. Yo, this would open up a new wave of games, though, right? Like the cookout. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to play games we could smell now. Like
who we can invite to the cookout the game.
I want to cook out the game, like for real. Like I want to smell what the cookout is like on your online force. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think that they could have used a better game to
100%.
advertise.
Are there games that I would want to be immersed in? Absolutely. A zombie game is not gonna be one of them. I promise you.
That ain't it. That ain't where it's at.
The way my heart is built, it's gonna
you don't got a heart reactor. All right, fine. All right, well, we got about a few minutes left. Let's check the comments. I ain't been peeping the comments all day, so I'm gonna scroll on down and see what we talk about all the way from the bowl. Yes, good morning. Oh yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning out. Let's go ahead and add a couple tunes real quick so we can do this on the way out. So who's been saying what? All right, so going back to our original conversation, Jodie Turner should play Storm. We already said that could be a thing. We'll see what happens. We need to steal that. Oh, girl from that played Fire a Star. I know she's been listed as a potential candidate for Storm. Y'all feel that?
Heather Diop?
Yeah. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. So I see that's cool. We literally have 7-year-old. I know somebody here agrees with you right here, man. And definitely for recasting T'Challa. And I wasn't opposed to it, but I wasn't mad at how it ended up. But I get it. If Marvel is smart, they'll bring us young. Oh boy. Thanks, yes. Let me see. We need to know what the holdup is. Who's running it? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'm with you, Serenity. That's real. That's why Nakia exists like that. Well, was Nakia in the comic like that? I don't know.
T'Challa had a bunch of other love interests throughout the years. It's not just Storm.
It's like when people are like, why didn't we get Storm in any of the Black Panther movies? Storm was not just knocking boots with T'Challa. She had other lovers. She shouldn't be tied to the one man as her identity.
True. Right now she's with Wolverine.
As she should be, because I like that pairing.
And I mean, there's some people that think that they got a whole soiree thing going on up there in that little, Thug Thizzle. But that's
they had it in Krakoa with him, Cyclops, and Jean. They were a throuple.
And Jean, they had to, so that was a little thing. But we'll leave that for speculation. It is what it is. Moving right along. What other comments do we have in the comments section?
Shout out to these commenters: Gothic Chica, Skylar the Writer,
Gothic. What's up, Gothic? Yeah, always good to have y'all in here. Yeah, Gothic. What did you say? Okay. Storm never was. Deadpool was already successful. Storm never was. But why is that? That's the question. We got to figure that out. Storm is a gamble.
Nah,
I would say Deadpool was a gamble. Deadpool was the first out after Blade was the first rated R project to come out. And it wasn't, and they played that safe. So but I hear what you're saying, Harmony. Storm has a perfect landing spot for introducing her. I agree with that. And just because it's an origin story doesn't mean it has to only be an origin story. Like we just had a Black Widow movie of which we were introduced to the new Black Widow yelling us. So we'll see what happens with that. Has X-Men ever been? This is a good question. I like First Class. I did.
They had like 7 movies, right?
Yeah, but I think that I guess the question is success. I guess
they made money.
Is the one they kept making them, so I guess success from a financial standpoint. Do they please all the nerds? Absolutely not. But will anybody? Absolutely not. We have to look up. Okay, I don't know what that comment's regarded to. They definitely wasn't planning Black Panther. It was a huge support for it to be in Civil War. Damn, okay, fair enough. Let's skip Jody. So you want Jody's Serenity? All right, I'm not mad at Jody. I would like to see an unknown, but it is what it is. Marvel Storm is listed as 5'11", and you say she's with Wolverine. That's very awkward. That's a 9-inch difference. Is cool. I mean, she flies too.
Jackman is like 9 inches from up somewhere else. So.
all right, fair enough. They're university. I'm not okay. Cynthia doesn't look young. They look. All right, fair enough. Harmony, you got some hot takes today. Let me see. Beautiful Soul. Good morning. Cynthia can definitely play Storm. She has the stature and usefulness. She is playing a 17-year-old witch. All right, there's an opinion. But the movie started with her being something and ended with something else. I don't know. We'll see. Plus, this is true. This is something I didn't consider. They did CGI RDJ and a couple other characters, so maybe there's something there. Hey, real quick shout out to the winner of the contest we had the other week, none other than Mike Onassis, and shout out to Ant for following through with that. We did have a contest the other week, and the winners did receive their awards. So shout out to you, Mike, for being a winner. I think there was another one as well, and be on the lookout for even
Mike,
more.
tag us on social media. Take some,
I think he posted on Instagram.
Oh, that's what's up.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, good job, Mike. That's what you're supposed to do, man. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for posting as well. And if you want some more stuff, just keep on watching. There's more things afoot. Let me see what else we got going on. There's a whole bunch of comments. I wanted to get a couple of them out the way. But
Roro did meet T'Challa's kids. I'm just jumping at some of them. They did meet his kids. There's some flashbacks. So if you read the comics, you'll see that they did meet his children. Skylar, I'm with you. I'm still traumatized by Darwin's death, but you know how they treat us. What else? They said, I do not like Storm and that Munchkin Logan together. Neither does T'Challa. They always beefing about it.
Where are you seeing these? Are you not able to?
Oh. I'm at like the bottom of the comments.
You're at the bottom? Okay. What's the time frame?
The last one is Renzelis Brown. She just responded about T'Challa and Storm having history together as children, and this is what we call what do they call it? Retconning, right? So they'll just add context to the past if there's a room for them to write it in. So they didn't always have that history, but it's like I want to say within the last 10 years they had a history of Storm meeting a young T'Challa as children.
I'm not mad at it. Yeah, I do think that there's been some it's been met with some criticism, like you just saw, coupling Storm and T'Challa. Originally, I was like, that's perfect, but now it's like, let's shove all the black superheroes into one thing. So I don't know. I feel multiple ways about it. I
want to know why Skylar don't want Anna Diop to play her.
Yeah, why you don't like Anna Diop, bro? What's up with that, Skylar? Why are you tripping on our Starfire, homeboy? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Okay, longer than 10, more like 30 years. Storm met T'Challa around age 12. Okay, Serenity, you must read comics. All right, yeah, keep the comments coming, y'all, and don't let them in here. What's up, man? Why? T'Challa rumor. What's the T'Challa rumor? Did I miss something?
Oh, about them potentially recasting T'Challa? Like, we touched on it, but we ain't really dive into it.
I mean, is that an ongoing thing though? I mean, that's speculation, right? There's no.
Well, it's. I think it came from this dude, Jeff Snyder. He's like a popular. They call him scooper or snooper. I don't know what the term is, but he's like a popular person to release rumors, and he released this rumor that Marvel might finally be looking to bring back T'Challa, a version of T'Challa, for the upcoming Avengers films. So now that he said it, people are giving it more credibility, and they're resuscitating the conversation about bringing back T'Challa. So that is how it should be. You know, I still feel like, in my opinion, they fumbled the T'Challa and Namor beef by not having T'Challa part of that beef. I love that they showed the Shuri part, because Shuri had beef with him as well, but That I feel like that's a big fumble on Marvel's part by not giving us that action. But yeah, I'm here for it. I would love to see a T'Challa come back, whether it's young T'Challa, the original T'Challa, or a variant of T'Challa. We need Black royalty in film.
Okay. What else we got here? Yeah, we just talked about it, Antoine. So hopefully that helps. Let me see. Storm did have a childhood. Yes, she's a New Yorker who with Kenyan roots. We've gone over that. I got it. Wow, damn, Serenity, what you doing next week? we need to comic cyclopedia your ass and own everything X-Men. So yeah, you can say I read. All right, well, yeah, you might have to be our comic cyclopedia because we need one. Because I know I didn't read 18,000 comics as of yet. Didn't start when we already touched on. I think I need to resurface this, and I think this is going to age poorly. But I actually already expressed my discontent with Denzel joining the ranks of superhero movies now in the twilight of his life. Wish he had done a little earlier. Wish he had followed Wesley Snipes' rule. I felt like he stuck his nose up to it. But now that he's in his heyday, he's like, fuck it, I'll do it. And I don't know if I'm really ready for that. You know what I'm saying? So if he is in Black Panther 3, I hope he plays an American because I don't want to hear Wakandan with the Brooklyn accent. And I love you though, Denzel. I love Anna Diop, but I feel like Storm has an air of regality to her. She's older, wiser, even if she's not necessarily played on with a level of stoicism. We need an Angela. Angela Bassett would have been perfect in 1996. She can't play Storm now. She cannot. She's already Ramonda, and she's already perished. She cannot. Those were the original dreams, though. Those were the original dreams. She would have been perfect. And I'm going to say this, and I think I won't be alone in saying this before we wrap, but it should have been Angela, not Halle. It should have been Angela, not Halle. If Angela was in those original X-Men movies, we would be looking at a completely different scope of her relevance in the X-Men sagas subsequently. It'd have been a completely different story. They took Halle because she accepted the role. Probably didn't know that much about it. But Angela was day one. Then after Angela then it was your T-Day. All right. But right now, I'm not opposed to Jodie, even though she's the same age of Erivo. And I already said Erivo's too old. I know I'm contradicting myself. All right. It's so cool. Yes. And Angela would. Yes. Okay. Pull up. Look at me getting love in the comments. Yes. Thank you. All right. Finally. All right. And lastly. Oh, that's it. That's the last comment. Well, real quick. Thank you so much, YouTube, for pulling up. In addition to watching us on Saturdays, please watch and look at the videos we're posting during the week. Monday, Anthony, are we Monday?
Monday.
Anthony with the movie blog will be on Monday, 5 o'clock Eastern time?
5 Eastern. I'm gonna be I'm probably gonna touch on some of these topics a little more, but I'm gonna have a whole bunch more. And of course, anybody who want to ask From questions. I know I'm a little far removed from, but I know some people still like talking about it.
Nah, yo, From it's still a thing. I mean, we still don't know who this is. Oh damn, it went away. Dang, did I delete it? I kept it on purpose. We still don't know who this is, so there's still room to talk about From. And I've also been watching Silo. Have y'all been watching it? I'd like to catch up with you maybe on that if you got room on Monday.
And I got to talk about all the movies coming out in 2025. It's going to be a big year.
Yeah, man. I had this up slated for a list. I wanted to talk. I feel like we're dragging, so I didn't want to keep y'all here too long.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? So I was going to go ahead and start wrapping up. But since we didn't get to this, we did get to the video games. We didn't get to this. So we'll probably get to this next week if it's cool. So we can have Yaz, Ty, and everybody along with it. But before I take this off the screen, what sticks out to you of this list when I have it up here? Can I tell you that I see the Naked Gun at the bottom right, and I'm like, excuse me? No Leslie Nielsen? Who plays the lead role of Naked Gun? You want to know what I think they're going to get? John Hamm. I think they picked John Hamm. But I'll tell you who I would like to see play the role of Naked Gun. It would never happen. Ice-T. Yo, come on. You can't tell me. Hey, man, I don't know why y'all all on this plane. Y'all need to get out there You know what I'm saying? I can't do Ice-T. I'm sorry. I would want to see Ice because the whole thing about Naked Gun, the movies, is you took the role of Leslie Nielsen, who actually played a legitimate cop in a series, and he plays the same character, but with dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? With like a bunch of real silly stuff. So the trick is to make it so that you can't tell the difference between the acting when he's serious and when it's being funny. And I think Ice-T. All right, never mind. I'll shut up. All right, please. Anything y'all see?
All the horror movies.
All the horror movies? Okay. I see Insidious. I see Five Nights at Freddy's 2. They didn't get a good review.
Wolfman comes out next week, no?
Wolfman, that's got old girl from Netflix in it. I mean, from Ozark in it, right?
Mm-hmm. Until Dawn, which is based on a video game.
Yeah, a good one too. Another zombie game. I got a side eye for the Jurassic World. Whatever they're doing with Jurassic World, I think is enough. I think we need to let that break.
Did you see the leaked footage of Scarlett Johansson turning into a raptor?
Oh my God. No, I did not. But I hope to God that is fan fiction. Because they already
Jurassic Park had a formula. Why y'all can't just follow it?
Let me tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because there's no longer any source material. You know, they don't have the George R.R. Martin that's still around to give them any guidance.
Has more source material that they keep popping out these movies, but they follow the same formula.
But they're not all good either.
You put respect on Romulus.
I didn't say Romulus. Prometheus?
I am one of those who enjoyed Prometheus.
Really? Okay. I ain't gonna knock you. I'm just saying I would check out the new joint. And by the way,
I enjoy watching it.
There's another Alien game coming out, by the way, that looks really good, and it's co-op and it's multiplayer.
And also, Romulus leads into the Aliens TV show that's dropping on Hulu in a few months.
Okay, don't give me alien fatigue. I hope we're still here for it. All right, let's get a couple of these out the way. I also see the Fantastic Four. I didn't know that was coming out this year. I have doubts. I have doubts about that. Is that real? I don't know. That feels like that.
It comes out July.
Fantastic Four. They already shot it. They just casted Pedro.
They wrapped it last summer.
Damn. Oh, it's gonna be trash. They got it.
They casted it, but they waited to tell us who they casted.
Oh, and did y'all see the thing? Did you see the thing where they snuck somebody into the studio? Did y'all see that? I had that on here too. All right. You know what? We're getting into next week's show already. We'll delve into these movies a little bit next week, y'all. So pull on up. We did also not get a chance to talk about Squid Game, the Ghost of Tsushima anime that's coming out, Nearly Burlesque shows, and the award show evidently that happened this week, of which there were a lot of snipes. Excuse me, what do they call them? What do they call it when you don't get it?
Snubs.
A lot of snubs for the movies we want. Like we didn't get the Penguin, and we didn't get the old boy from Shogun. The girl from Shogun got cited. So yeah, a couple of those things happened. So we didn't get to talk about that Squid Game and this other weird thing I'm watching called Beast Game, which I think is interesting. It's kind of fun, but it is what it is. But we've said, we didn't even talk about TikTok closing down. Damn, I meant to bring that. That's actually in the subject, and we didn't talk about them recasting Balin Skull, which I don't think is a big deal, honestly. I mean, rest in peace to Ray Stevenson, but I don't think people are gonna. It's not like recast T'Challa. I don't think
it's not like anyone's asking for more Ahsoka.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That came out so much faster than I.
Yo, it is so fuego today. Like you're not playing around. You're not playing around. I'm here for it. Well, on behalf of myself and everybody who's with us, was with us, and isn't with us, just want to say thank you so much for joining us. If you are here and you haven't already hit the like, subscribe button on the YouTube page, please do so before the top of the hour. Also, big shout out to Comedy Hub. Thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to speak with all y'all Twitch followers. Shout out to the movie blog. That is our boy Anthony. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to that as well. Big shout out to Black Nerd Problems and the homegirl Nolly for staying up on that. Omar Tiffy, we see y'all. Our heart goes out to LA, Yvette, Carl Jones, my sister, everybody we know over there, and the Critic Awards, which I may pull up to. We'll talk about that. But to you in the comments, thank you so much for being here and continue to be your authentic self. Because if you ain't being yourself, guess what? You being fake. And there ain't no honor in that. And in all things, like we always say, go ahead and let that. Can I fit in a sound effect real quick? Let that geek flag fly.
I love the new Blerd order. You should.
Let me get all this 10p Wayne. All the niggas rapping about the same old thing. I've been coming through with the same old gang. Ain't shit changed except now I ain't got a name. Got it out the mud but we got no stains. Cold ass nigga with a gold ass chain. The girl call me daddy, not my government name.